Available to Showtime subscribers viewing our East Coast live feed. Of course, your voting is for entertainment purposes only and will not influence the outcome of the fight. Once again, the web address is show.com. That's SHO.com. Coming up first here at the MCI Center in Washington, D.C., two hometown fighters go head-to-head. Keith Holmes defends his WBC middleweight title against Andrew Council in a rematch. And here comes the challenger, Andrew Council, born right here in Washington, D.C., lives in Atlanta, Maryland, out to avenge a 1994 decision loss to Keith Holmes. He claims would have been much closer had he not been penalized 3 points for low blows. He's had losses to some stylish fighters like Bernard Hopkins, Robert Allen, Ron Wright. He put Buddy McGirt down twice, stopped him of the night. Council was humbled by a powerful, more skilled Hopkins in his only other title shot. He's 3-0 since. Bertie, Council, a very aggressive, in-your-face fighter with good strength. But what do you think? Can he handle the effective, educated jab of the southpaw Holmes?
I'll tell you what he brings in there, a whole truckload of attitude. The last time he lost by 1 point, but they'd taken 3 points away from him. He thought he won that fight. He is so mad. In our interview yesterday, I was impressed. Very seldom do fighters get up in our face mad as he was. He is so desperately mad to get in here and start. That may work against him because Holmes is a very cool and collected kind of guy, but he's also a very slow starter and a guy that seems to take it all at ease and let it go. This guy looks like he's got a rocket up his bottom.
He also says he just doesn't like Keith Holmes. Part of the reason may be, a word is, that Holmes is taking some of his purse. Here is the champion, born right here in Washington, D.C., now makes his home in Hyattsville, Maryland. Returned home to recapture the title in April. Stopped Frenchman Hassan Sharifi in the 7th here at the MCI Center, avenging an earlier defeat at the hands of Sharifi in France. Bobby Ches, will Holmes' speed be enough to keep the aggressive Council off of him?
You know, Steve, Holmes' speed is not blinding speed for a middleweight, and he would need nothing short of blinding speed to keep this kid off. Not only is Council a good puncher and he's aggressive, but he is in great shape from what he tells me. I think what Keith Holmes is going to have to do, he's going to have to stop, pick his spots, and hurt Council, especially early, to get some respect, or Council's going to eventually run him over. I think tonight it's going to be a long night for Keith Holmes, and his title is definitely in jeopardy.
There he is with the familiar face, veteran referee Arthur McCanty, making some last-minute checks. And let us check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Just 1 year separates the two men. Holmes with the 4.5-inch height advantage, both under the 160-pound limit at yesterday's weigh-in, and a 4-inch edge in reach for Holmes. And the key rules for this title fight: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, it's a technical draw. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at the MCI Center, Washington, D.C., set for Keith Holmes versus Andrew Council for the WBC Middleweight Championship. Let's get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the beautiful MCI Center in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., as we have a big night of action in store for you. And it's all brought to you courtesy of Don King Productions and Showtime Championship Boxing. At this time, we present a World Championship attraction sanctioned by the World Boxing Council President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Raul Ortega, along with the D.C. Boxing and Wrestling Commission. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Barnegat, New Jersey, Tony Perez. From Dallas, Texas, Oren Schellenberger. And from New York, Fred Yusi. And introducing to you our Hall of Fame referee in charge of this bout, working in this his 134th world title bout, Arthur Mercanti. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing blue trunks with black trim, fighting out of and representing his home of Washington, D.C. He weighed in at 159 1/2 pounds with a record of 30 wins, 6 losses, and 3 draws. He has has 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making his second attempt at a world title, please welcome the challenger, Andrew Council of War. And his opponent across the ring, introducing the defending champion. On my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing royal blue trunks with navy blue trim, he is fighting out of Bowie, Maryland. Weighing in at a trim and ready 158 1/2 pounds. His record stands at 34 wins, 2 losses, with 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2-time and current WBC middleweight champion of the world, introducing Keith Holmes. Once again, Arthur Mercante is our referee in charge. 12 rounds of championship boxing schedule.
All right. Okay. Right time, son. Okay, swallow, baby. All right.
Good evening. Good evening, Keith. Andrew, you both know the rules of the World Boxing Council. We expect you to obey these rules, and I'll enforce them. Be sure that you do not kidney punch or rabbit punch, or you'll be penalized. Now, I hope that's understood. Shake hands now. Come out boxing at the bell. Good luck.
All right.
Final instructions from Arthur Mercante out of Garden City, New York. Keith Holmes, a left-hander who started out right-handed, almost Tommy Hearns-like in appearance. Tall, lean, long, thin legs, not as much in the upper body. His opponent, Andrew Council, very muscular, particularly in his back, as you'll see, which means he does work at it. Normally, he's a bagger. Comes out swinging. We'll see what he does here against Keith Holmes. Holmes says the keys to victory: stay on the outside, box, jab, throw combinations, use movement. He thinks Council is one-dimensional, relies too much on power, that he's flat-footed. He says bottom line speed will be the difference.
We're both starting out pretty conservative right now, Steve. Just reaching each other, finding the distance, gauging each other's speed. But you're going to have, with the southpaw thing, I guarantee you that you're going to have the foot problem, people stepping on each other's feet.
And heads coming together as well, time to time.
And another problem he's going to have was with size. Look at the difference in size of these two guys. The height and the reach on Holmes. Going to keep him out on the end of that jab. Council's going to have to do some work to get inside that.
Holmes 4.5 inches taller and does have the longer reach. They usually go hand in hand. Council said the pressure will be his key, applying the pressure on Holmes.
He certainly has to close the gap. He can't win the fight from this distance. This is where Keith Holmes wants to fight. And if Council doesn't give him something to make him worry or hurry, he's going to win the fight staying outside.
I asked Council what he learned most from his loss to Bernard Hopkins, his first title shot. He said he learned it's not all about strength. He said Hopkins boxed and boxed well. He knows that Holmes is an excellent boxer too. He'll have to cut the ring off and make adjustments.
Holmes is starting out much more determined than in all the other fights we've seen. We seem to just play around at the first 2 or 3 rounds. He's not playing this time. He's out here working hard with that jab.
Council does fight with a great deal of pride. He has a good chin. He's 36-3. That's 30 wins, 6 defeats, 3 losses, 3 draws with 20 knockouts. Holmes 34-2 with 23 KOs.
Council's also a pretty good defensive fighter, but he's going to have to start to gamble and take some chances with this kind of height and reach. It's not going to be as easy as blocking all those shots. He's going to have to walk through some of them, slip some of them, but as he slips, he's going to have to step in and bang.
Holmes said the reason the first fight with Council was so close back in '94, he simply had no energy. He was tired. He does come up with a lot of excuses.
Well, I'll tell you, coming up with no energy at fight time is a bad thing to do.
That was a heck of a right hand he just threw, or left-handed one. From an arcing left hand thrown by Holmes, landing between the gloves, but it didn't seem to affect Council any.
Council's been down once in his career. He flash knocked down in his second fight back in '91. He came back to win a 3rd-round KO. Holmes never down. Holmes has 8 first-round knockouts, 16 of his 23 KOs in 3 rounds or less. Council 15 of his 20 KOs in 3 or less.
Council's gone the distance with some big names too. Bernard Hopkins, Robert Allen, who's beat Buddy McGirt, so you know his chin's been tested.
The bell for round 1.
And certainly no problem with that round. Goes to Holmes.
He's trying to get busy towards the end, right? That's all he's trying to do. Good, man. Really good. Okay, here comes Mr. Jacobs now. Okay. Keep the jab in front of him. You're not using the jab enough. He's right there in front of you. Okay? Let's get that stick out there. You know what? We worked on it. Okay? Keep that.
Loosen up. That's all. Good.
I was instructed to tell you to take a little Vaseline off the mustache because that's good. Thank you for cooperating.
Okay. All right, stand up. Yeah.
You hear Arthur Riccati instructing him to take some of that Vaseline off the mustache of Counsel.
But very courteous. I'm instructed to tell you if you would please do that. Thank you.
And not only that, Freddie, very respectful in that Holmes corner. Claude Bozier, the cornerman in front of Holmes, saying, all right, here comes Mr. Jacobs now. That's Dave Jacobs, the trainer, who spent so many years with the great Sugar Ray Leonard, who's in attendance here tonight. All right, here we go, round 2, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Middleweight Championship.
Now, based on that first round, which was clearly Holmes because he did the work and he was more effective with everything, we're going to have to look at now what Counsel does in the way of adjusting. So far right now, he's trying to counter the jab a little more with his own jab, but he's got to be more aggressive. He just can't win the fight outside.
And you mentioned that the fight between Counsel and Hopkins, the power of Hopkins just too much for Counsel, who was more tentative than usual. Hopkins wanted to prove that he could slug and box, and in the end, Hopkins controlled that fight, just punished Counsel en route to unanimous decision to retain that IBF belt. But Counsel was game, looked to mix it up, and there's no reason to think he won't do that here with Holmes. Again, Holmes working that right jab, looking to set up the left. Counsel leaned back a little more. Maybe he's just waiting for the right moment. Those punches were blocked by the gloves of Counsel.
I was talking to one of the sparring partners who worked with Holmes and Counsel as well as Joppy, and he said Andrew definitely doesn't like Keith Holmes, but he hates Joppy even more. Rivalry in the middleweight division.
Well, this is more of the first round because Counsel still hasn't figured out, and they are bumping shoes. Well, it's more dramatic when one's wearing black and white. You can see it more. In lulls in the action, you look at their feet, they're always touching.
Now the action heating up right in the center of the ring.
Good left hook. Counsel staggered Holmes a little bit. He really got his attention. Good inside left hook. He hurt him.
That's his best punch, the left hook by Counsel. Now he's wailing away with the right. 3 straight shots with the right. The last one missed. But good action here. Left hook right off the nose of Holmes.
Counsel smothering a lot of the shots on the wing so far, being very effective the latter part of this round.
All right, break. Step back. Don't hit
Good flurry by Andrew Counsel. Late in round 2.
He saw what he had to do, and he went to do it. He was in there, and he did some damage. It stunned him. How much it hurt him, I don't know, but it stunned him.
But the seasoned pro Holmes, not panicking, works the jab, continues to box. Now the 1-2 combination by Holmes.
Counsel's defense, too, Steve, is very tight. He blocks a lot of those punches. Hard to hit him clean. And I'll tell you right now, Keith Holmes has got to tighten up on the inside a little more.
Oh, low blow by Counsel. Two hometown guys going at it.
Take it easy. We ready for 15 rounds. We okay, baby.
Counsel works on the body here, and he comes through with a nice left hook that I don't think Holmes saw right there. And you can see the knees buckle. That started the rally, and later in the round, he continued doing it. But one of those shots, I do believe, went south of the border. And I think we're going to see it right here. That one, well, you know what? That's on the belt line.
Borderline.
That's on the belt line, which is technically legal. Even,
Well,
even Arthur McCanty, he was right there and he saw it. So
Even though the belt's about 6 inches.
it's a very wide belt that man has.
Holy. I mean, you hit on that, that's 6 inches, man.
And Arthur McCanty right there taking that into account. Round 3.
And McCartney got the best referee going just about, you know, I mean, he's been everywhere, he's seen everything, did brilliant in the first. Ali Frazier, a great referee.
134 world title fights.
Yeah, the nicest part about Arthur McCanty, not is he perfect in the ring, but he's a gentleman outside the ring, and the son follows in both cases, just like the dad.
Can't say more than that.
It's in the blood.
And the best thing is he broke the rule. There was a barrier there at 75 years of age. They wouldn't let him, a guy this good and this expert not allowed because of age was a crime, and he broke it, and now he's refereeing. That's great.
I'll say the last thing about Arthur, and then we'll get back to the fight. He's the Dick Clark of boxing. He just never ages.
Wonderful.
All right, round 3 for the WBC middleweight title. Andrew Council comes off a good second round.
I'll tell you right now, too, Keith Holmes is looking to be a little bit more the aggressor. Maybe pick his spot and get some respect. When he's going forward, Council not a fighter who fights well going backward.
Not too many could, huh? Maybe for Ali, a couple of others.
Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, and a few other fighters could beat to death going backwards, but it's preferably not the place to go.
Right. Keith Holmes, a very good counter puncher.
Boxing backward is not the direction of choice.
No. Good power and speed. He's smart, slick, very hard to hit. Although Council has been finding the target.
Look at his feet. Look at his feet.
Nice combination by Holmes, and the feet are tangling.
He has heavy hands. You can hear the thud at the top of Holmes' head. You see the effects of Holmes shaking.
Here's a right uppercut by Council. The fans going for the underdog, Andrew Council. Both are from the D.C. area. Those punches being rejected, blocked by Council. And he bangs away at the side of Keith Holmes as they clinch.
No hitting in the kidneys, understand? Let's go.
Kidney punches. Hit Arthur McCanty, cautioning Council. Straight left hand by Holmes. That penetrated. That got through the gloves of Council.
Council has heavier hands, Steve, but he's not working enough. He's just not throwing enough punches. He's losing this round.
He's being outworked.
He's being outworked. He needs to get busy.
But you're right. The speed of it, I mean, the power of it. Gosh, you can hear it pow when he pops.
One of Council's major weaknesses is that he lacks speed, and in long fights he grows lethargic. And some feel he does lack the boxing abilities and maneuverability that you need to be a complete fighter. Oh, Arthur McCanty almost got nailed by accident at the bell.
Nice moves there by Holmes.
By all 3 guys in the ring.
Yeah.
You let the guy get away. That's what you do. He beat you to the punch. All right? Look, Keith, start hitting with that straight left hand to the soul play. All right? Then come back with your right hook. All right? Get your jab. Get your jab. Don't do no plate crap. Stop doing your jab out there the way that you're doing. Put a snap through your jab.
We're going to take a look at one of the better flurries by Council. He makes a nice slip there, comes inside, and he rings a left hook off the top of Keith Holmes' head. You can see his leg shake. That one of his more effective moments in that round, but he just didn't work enough. There's some body work, but just not enough work. There's another look at it. Again, he slips, comes inside, and he loads up with that hook. And you can see the legs buckle just a little bit on him. He's a heavy-handed puncher, is Andrew Council.
But he's loading up, and that's why he's not working that hard. It's like he wants to inflict damage. He wants to get in there, and in so doing, he's blowing around because the other guy is working. Holmes is working, make no mistake.
Holmes trainer Dave Jacobs pointing out to Keith, he said he's beating you to the punch. Snap that jab more. Let's see if he does. Round 4.
If Holmes can keep up this machine-like jab that he's got going, I mean, his energy is going to be big to do this for 12 rounds. That jab just pumping in there, pumping in there, pumping in there. That's going to wear you out.
Holmes being very cautious. Staying on the outside, flicking the jab. Council being very defensive.
Right jab finding its mark high on the cheekbone of Counsel.
But is he doing it often enough?
He's getting a little swollen.
Without the pace being picked up by Counsel, Holmes is allowed to sit back, jab at his leisure. And really, you're not forcing the pace, you're not forcing him to get tired, you're not forcing his legs to get tired and to use. Counsel's got to get to work.
Perhaps fearful of getting too close inside because of the heavy-handedness of Counsel and his counter-punching ability. Oh, to the body, but Counsel just standing there and taking it.
Most of that hit the arms, but still, it's at least punches. He's throwing them, and Counsel's not.
And point builders. I don't care what that hits. That hurts.
The judges, Oren Schellenberger from Texas, Tony Perez, New Jersey, Fred Ucci, New York. They see that and they put it down.
Stop, 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 back up. Let's go.
Counsel's got to pick up the tempo of his fight. Resounding body shot by Holmes right in the solar plexus.
It's a nice little counter there by Counsel, but he didn't follow up.
Counsel turned pro in 1990 at age 23. He's 31. Won a regional Golden Gloves title.
Oh, Holmes is dancing. He is dancing. That tires you out. Unless you're in terrific shape, you're going to dance like that for long.
There's a word we've heard a lot of lately, dancing in the boxing ring.
Yeah, we saw a ballroom dancing the other night.
That was more like a track meet.
Counsel was riding a 16-fight unbeaten streak when he lost to Holmes in '94 for the vacant USBA title. We come to the final seconds of round 4. Now the action getting better in the final seconds as we head for the bell as Counsel was digging in to the stomach of Holmes. Trying to steal one here.
There you go. There you go. You beat him at his own game, but you do your thing along the way, okay? That's right. Why did you do it your thing? Okay? That's pretty right. You got to work. Now, look. You switched up. You hit him with that shot, that soul plate to the body, right? Good. Straight left hand to the body. Come right back upstairs with your right hook and a straight left hand upstairs. But keep working with your jab. Work on the body just a little bit more, but keep your jab in front of you.
One of the greatest athletes to come out of this area, 5-time world champion Sugar Ray Leonard, looking on. Enjoying the action, got a big round of applause when he was introduced to the crowd before the fights began.
There was a guy that knew what to do when the title was on the line. He didn't run, he went and got it.
Just trigger, man, do trigger.
We're set for round 5 for the WBC middleweight championship. They were happy in that Keith Holmes corner between rounds, thought that he controlled the tempo in that last round. That's what they want to see more of.
I think he clearly won the round. He did it better than he had done any of the other rounds he'd won. He was very, very effective.
And one thing he's doing now, he's getting between the gloves. I mean, up to this point, he was hitting gloves. That last round, he hit between the gloves several times. Beautiful shots inside.
Holmes continues to jab with that right.
See, the other guy's jab is just a pawing, nothing going nowhere jab. At least Holmes is hitting something, even if it's gloves. He hits something with a jab. This other guy's pawing in the air.
Oh, big right hand by Andrew Counsel. Another heavy right.
Unfortunately, too much of it has been one and done. He needs to follow up right hand, left hook like that. He needs to get bombs and he needs to do some punches and bunches with it.
Counsel looking to end this thing with one punch. Missed with that wild left hook right over the head of Holmes.
That left hook had bad intentions, Steve. He really meant to hit him with that shot.
Let me tell you, Holmes is fighting a pretty darn good defensive fight. He makes this guy miss a lot. I mean, once in a while he hits something good, but basically he's fighting a good defensive fight.
Holmes nearly tripped over the foot of Andrew Counsel there. Again, that southpaw thing.
Oh.
Once again, the elusive Keith Holmes able to avoid that left hook by Counsel. Counsel's going to start getting frustrated soon if that continues to happen. And now, good shots to the body by Holmes.
Those are two zingers.
Watch that kidney punching, I'm telling you now.
More warning to Andrew Council for the kidney punches by Arthur McCanty.
Actually, Arthur is off a little bit on this one. That punch is directly to the side underneath the lats, not in the back where the kidneys are. So it's a legal blow.
Good. Council opening up.
He landed a nice body shot and a good hook up top. Again, he rocked Holmes.
And he has to keep at it. He can't go back and set. He's got to come back. Come on, come on. But he doesn't. Oh, that's a nice shot.
What's more effective, the right jab of Keith Holmes or those heavy punches by Andrew Council in the long run?
Well, right now, I think Keith Holmes has landed many more of the jabs for point effectiveness as opposed to several isolated bombs of Council. So right now, the jab is winning the battle.
And effectiveness as far as wearing out. All those jabs are landing. See the guy's hard punches every once in a while. That ain't doing anything.
One aspect of the bomb, though, could be one done, lights out.
We saw that with Tyson Botha.
That's what's great about boxing.
Oh, a straight left hand right on the head by Holmes. That was an effective punch by Holmes.
After a series of punches, a good right hand. That's the kind of stuff that's winning these rounds, one after the other, for Holmes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Look up. Let me get him here. Let me get him first. Keep still. Let me get this, Andrew. Keep still. You can sit on the
Now here's the shot. That shot goes all the way around to the back. Those shots are too far around. Keith Holmes kind of turns in. Some of the shots, I'm not sure exactly which sequence that was, but the ones to the back there, they're illegal. That's a fact. Sometimes a big 12 fighter will fold and turn his body in, so that's the only place open to you. Doing something illegal.
Put him out, please.
Holmes is ready for round 6. Adrian Davis was talking to Andrew Council. 30 wins, 6 defeats, 3 draws with 20 knockouts. Council's second world title shot. Keith Holmes 4-1 in world title fights. He's the WBC middleweight champ. Won the title in his first title shot, March of '96. 9th round TKO over Quincy Taylor.
I tell you, Council's throwing that jab and then dropping his arm to the side, whereas before he's putting both hands up, you know, the peekaboo like that. But when he jabs, he drops it, and but I mean drops it. Watch what he does.
And now, for whatever reason, or at least the early part of this round, Council wasn't really pressing the issue that much, allowing Keith Holmes to come forward jabbing. That's just not a fight he can win.
Well, he's falling behind in this one. Something fell off. I don't know what that was. Probably a piece of tape or something.
Yeah, it looks like that. Right behind Council by his right foot.
Either that or a molar.
Is there a dentist in the house?
I think it might have been one of the letters he has in the front of his trunk. If you watch, some of them are peeling off. I think that's what it was.
Wouldn't it be good?
Holmes continues to control the fight. He says he'd like to unify, but he cares more about the title, not the title holder. But I really think deep down inside he wants Jumpy. His arch rival from this area. Another wild swing and a miss by Council. We'll have to wait and see if Holmes wins here.
We got to give Bobby Ches the Leonard Detective Award. It's right. His whole thing is coming out, Bobby.
Yeah. Well, I was confused. I saw a white thing fall, and there aren't too many white things up in the ring that could fall. The tape stays on the gloves, and if it falls, the whole piece comes off. So I looked around, and now I see the letters falling off.
And they're falling off yet. The A is about to drop. Oh. Well, he's got bragging rights in the neighborhood. I hit you so hard your name came off the front of your uniform.
Not quite like knocking the cover off a baseball, but it's close there.
Well, this is more of the same. This is more of Holmes working his way in a workmanlike fashion, not in a hurry, and the other guy getting a little bit desperate but not doing anything about it.
Break! Step back. Don't hit on the break.
We approach the final 10 seconds of round 6. Another round for Keith Holmes.
Council digging in. He's trying, but before he... Oh, now that was low.
Keep them up. That's a little low.
Now that was low.
Okay, let's go. What do you call?
As the bell tolls, coming up next, the main event, Jockey Green 3. We take you backstage into the dressing room of the champion, William Joppy. A local product making the second defense of his second tour as champ. Always confident, some might call him cocky, but for the most part able to back up his words. Only one loss in 29 fights, and that was the controversial defeat to Julio Cesar Green for the title, which he avenged in the rematch. Tonight, the rubber match.
You think your jab can't work, but it can. Start jabbing to the stomach. Jab to and try your 1-2. You ain't busting your 1-2 in there a little bit. Give me the mouthpiece. Suck it in deep. Get your arms to working, Andrew. You know how to do that.
Take another one. Take another one. Let's go to work.
All right.
Let's go to work. Come on. Come on. Stay there to work. Back to work, all right, King?
Well, basically, it's the same information in both corners. Get to work. Get to work. But I don't think you have to tell Holmes that. Holmes is working. He can't work much harder than he is. But I think the advice is right. Get your arms working. Get stuff going. You can't just sit back and keep eating that jab. My score, by the way, Bobby, at 6 is 60 and 55 because I gave one round even.
I have it 59-55.
Yeah,
For Keith Holmes, here's how the fans see it on the online.
They have it even.
Wow.
Oh, wow. They must have still been mesmerized from that fight the other night. That session in Strange
in the desert viewing. Well, we're halfway home. Let's see if Council can pick up the pace.
There could have been a good argument made for the 5th round to give that to Council, so there's some room for error, but I think he just didn't do quite enough. He did most of it too late.
At best, he's 5-1.
Council once again missing with that. Right.
I have it, and if in all fairness, it could be 4-2, but 3-3 I can't see.
Oh no. Oh no.
Once again, it does look different on television as opposed to when you're here live.
Absolutely. Thank goodness, or we could stay home and call these fights.
Which we've done on occasion in studios off a television monitor. Not quite the same.
Not quite. And no fun, whatever.
Especially with Bobby in the background playing the role of the crowd noise.
I'll tell you, though, I had some experience with in-person. Rocky Lockridge and Subio Pedrosa in person. I had a 1-point win for Rocky. I went on and watched it on TV, and I thought Rocky ran away with it 9 rounds to 6.
There you go. Sugar Ray Leonard thought Oscar won.
What's he doing?
All right, here's Keith Holmes going to the body of Council, who just lets him go.
No, he played possum there. He tried to act like he was hurt.
Unfortunately, he didn't counter, though. Isn't it more fun when you're playing possum to go after the other guy when you're doing it?
I think that's part of the game. That's one of the rules.
I think there might be a little blood near the left eye of Council. He kind of was feeling around there and then looked at his glove to see whether there was blood on the glove. Let's see. It's hard to tell. Maybe I'm off.
There's a red area there, but I can't see any blood.
Yeah, he thought there was because he looked at his glove to see if there was blood on it. In any case, we move on. 30 seconds left in round 7. Holmes sneaking a peek at somebody in the crowd.
Council unable to find the answer to the elusive and dancing of Holmes.
That big right hand by Council was a grazing blow off the side of Holmes' face. It didn't phase him.
Too late. Too late.
Okay, we got to roll. You're not doing enough with this guy. You got to come on, man. All you're doing is fun. Come on, man. Come on, you got to wake up. Shit, it's not going to be another time like this. Want to try left-handed this time? Let's switch over. Something got to change. Don't move. Don't move. I got this. Let's close up. Let's never do it again. Huh? All right, then. Act like it. Go.
Yeah, there's blood.
This time, Andrew. And you pick it up, man. We in shape. You can do it. Don't let
Little
it get
tiny
weak.
nick, not much.
Come on, just messing around. Get it, jab your way into it.
He looks frustrated. It looks like he's losing interest in this. He can't do anything but take this little beating he's getting.
Suck it in.
You only had number one child.
Stop making a mess. Stop making a mess. I'm gonna use it. Don't worry about it. They always have a ring towel on a ring.
Well, they speak the truth in the council corner. You better get your act together and get going here. And there is just a trickle of blood over the left eye of Andrew Council. Straight left hand by Keith Holmes that got through the defense. Right on the head.
Smasher right on the bridge of the nose.
Holmes comes out very active here in round 8. Going to the body, too.
I tell you what, he ought to be enjoying this night. This is a one-way night for Holmes. He hasn't taken any punishment, and he's dished out an awful lot.
And interestingly, the fans at the halfway point scored rounds 2, 3, and 5 for Andrew Council.
I gave 2 even, 2 round. It's round 2 even.
I had round 2 for Council, and I think round 5 was one that could have made a good argument for him. I thought he just fell a little short, but I could understand that from the home viewers. But 3 rounds of the first 6, I got a little problem with that.
I know one thing, whether we're sitting here or whether we're at home, Holmes is ahead of this fight.
Council's just not working enough. It's just that simple. He's landing some heavy blows, and they're doing some damage when they land. But there are so few and far between that it's not mattering in a big way.
Look at that. That's around 8 punches in that combination before the other guy threw 1 punch. For Council threw anything, he took in about 8 shots.
They've got to be very, very downcast and frustrated in the Council corner.
Well, you could hear his trainers. Clearly he's frustrated. Something's got to change. He said you have to do something.
Keep him up.
He's just being smothered with punches. Look at that.
Again, the speed of Holmes.
All of that, and then there was a missed hook by Council. And imagine who got the points.
And the defense of Holmes eluding those uppercuts, those attempts by Andrew Council. Against a lesser fighter, he might have more success. There's a quick left hook by Keith Holmes. Council trying to counter to the body.
But once again, Keith Holmes finishes the flurry. He counters back.
He's getting hit and he's getting weary.
Oh yeah, now it's getting really miserable for Council. Unanswered punches. Now he's trying to come back. Good left hook there by Council that scored.
Hoover right uppercut and left hook. You're right. He hurt Keith Holmes. Keith Holmes holding on.
Council continues to wet away. He's game. He's missing most of those shots though.
That's because Holmes moves just enough to get him. Holmes doing a heck of a defensive job. Excuse me, but he's doing a great defensive job.
Look at this exchange.
Some heavy leather both ways.
Council nailed him with a left hook. He got Holmes in the head. He shakes his head. You didn't hurt me, but that had to hurt.
Holmes was in trouble.
If that had happened in the middle of the round, goodbye.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He got him.
He got him good, but he got him late. Maybe he's trying to do what Khalid Rahilu did when he fought Frankie Randall. He waited the first 6, 7 rounds, turned it on, and look what happened.
But Bobby, how do you give a round like that all round long? Holmes is killing him, and then at the last shot he gets hurt. I mean, how can you? One punch going to change that round?
Well, I'll tell you, it wasn't really one punch, but
Give me a little grease. Watch the logo, man. All right.
we'll take a look at the end of the round. Again, Council's been working his way, trying to get inside, but they land. There's the left hook. You could see that was literally like a fraction of a second before the bell rang. Here's another angle. That's not the left hook that really hurt. It's coming up in a minute, but they're just inside. And right up, it was just a little further along. It was a beautiful left hook right at the bell.
I think it was the next punch. Wow, round number 9, scheduled for 12. Big finish to the end of round 8 by Andrew Council. Let's see if he can pick up where he left off. Going to the body with the right hand.
And that woke up the crowd.
I think it woke up Andrew, too.
Yeah.
Let's see how much energy Counsel expended there.
Let's go.
Well, Holmes doesn't look as wide awake as he was in all the others. He's not punching as hard. It's very soft punching now.
Counsel continues to wail away at the body. Back comes Holmes to the head.
Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
The heads come very close.
You're hitting on the kidneys. I'm not going to take a point away from you. Keep it up. Let's go.
Well, you heard the warning by McCarty.
Well, if there's anything he doesn't need is to get a point taken.
The very last thing he needs is that.
We'd have to borrow
an uphill
points.
battle as it is.
He'd have to go borrow points from the other guy who keeps on muscling in.
Once again, toe-to-toe.
Andrews just keeps coming up short with that left hook. He's not stepping in with it. Keith Holmes pulling out.
Big right hand that just missed by Andrew Counsel. A glancing blow. There's a right hand off the top of the head of Holmes. Oh, uppercut combination by Keith Holmes. That snapped Counsel's head back a little bit. Both these guys have good chins.
High break. Cut back. Let's go.
Counsel aggressive, keeps coming forward, but countering shots by Holmes. Holmes landing more.
Andrews putting the pressure on now, but he's not throwing quite enough punches, and he's not landing them clean.
Holmes
He didn't clean.
spinning him around and landing. Back comes Counsel. Right-left combination that landed.
Keith not on his toes anymore, not sticking and moving. Now he's laying in right in harm's way.
Those heavy punches by Counsel perhaps taking the steam out of Holmes. Got to take its toll. But again, the speed of Holmes. Straight right hand by Counsel. Counsel's in trouble. Oh, what a countering shot by Holmes, and down goes Counsel. He's on his face. Can he get up from this? He is to his feet, but very wobbly.
He's in trouble, Steve. His leg's not under.
He made it to the bell.
Okay, you know what we gotta do? Move around. Okay? I want you to dance this round. You do the bottom. Okay?
We're going to give you a couple of looks at this right hook, and there it is. A beautiful right hook. Keith Holmes was even pulling out a little bit, but that's his best punch, the right hook. He dropped Hassan Sharifi with it, and here he drops Counsel. Nice left hand, and right there, I literally believe Counsel never saw it and ran right into it. He twisted right into it, and when you don't see him, they hurt twice as much as when you catch them.
We saw it in the Sharifi fight. That one punch just absolutely flattens you.
Perfectly timed.
And you had the feeling this could have gone, that could have been either fighter, because what Counsel was throwing, that could have happened the other way.
Counsel doesn't appear to be very strong on his feet right now.
Holmes going for the finish at the beginning of round 10. A barrage all over Counsel, but Counsel so game, very courageous. He keeps looking over to his corner, says, I'm all right, I'm all right.
Stop holding the rope. Let's go.
Down for the second time in his career, Andrew Counsel in the 9th round.
1 point taken away from you.
Oh, he's taking a point from Holmes.
Holmes hit him on the break. Arthur McCarty was breaking him, and Holmes reached out and laid one in.
Shake hands now.
So a point is deducted from Holmes.
He can afford it.
But he goes right back at Counsel. He wants to end it here in the 10th. Back comes Counsel with body shots. Big left hook by Counsel. He's got guts.
That's all the guts in the world. You're going to admire Counsel.
Most of this crowd on their feet.
Well, this is the slugfest that he wanted. Now he's got it.
Hard shots by Holmes. Counsel just standing in and countering.
Hard break. Let's go.
Hard body shot by Counsel.
Watch below the belt.
Right hand
Council just fighting on guts and instinct now. Guts and instinct.
A nice uppercut and a hook. Another uppercut by Council. I just don't think he's got enough left right now. He seems that the gas tank is on a short run.
And he's got a minute 10 to go here in round 10. Straight, oh, what a right hand by Council. What a chin by Holmes.
Beautiful body shot there by Council, too.
Oh, what an uppercut. Another uppercut by Holmes. Holmes with a combination. But Council just won't give in. Dangerously and perilously on the ropes.
Hard break. Break.
What a display of resolve and will by Andrew Council. And he's punching back.
He just won't quit. He won't say die.
He's still got that big bomb in him. He's swinging, letting him go. One of those lands could change the fight.
Could change it completely around. Could knock out Holmes right now. Holmes is tired.
Holmes has never been down in his career. It was non-stop action for most of round 10.
Wow, look at this.
Andrew Council with a flurry. Heading for the bell. When do you hear this crowd at the bell?
It was a good round for both fighters. They took a point off of Holmes. I still thought Holmes wound up winning the round. He dominated a lot of it, especially early. With Council in the corner. Council came back. That's a heck of a round to score. That's a difficult one.
I scored it for Holmes. Gentlemen, isn't that the kind of fight we expected from De La Hoya and Trinidad? Isn't that what we expected?
Still need your legs and your jab, okay? Right? Still need it.
Clearly the best action round of the fight so far. They were at it toe-to-toe. Council with beautiful right hand to the body. Misses a mean left hook. He really meant to do some damage with that. Holmes did his best, though, to keep Council with his back to the ropes, where he's less effective with the power. There's a beautiful uppercut, double uppercut on the inside. Right hand. Council tries to come back. He spent a little too much time with his back to the ropes covering up. Andrew Council did. I still think Holmes won the round and take the point off. I score at 9-9.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we go to the championship rounds, and this really is a championship fight.
And going into it, we got an 88-81. So it's almost impossible to win except by a knockout for the part of Council. Right now, it's the Jake LaMotta award. Am I going to stay here till the bell?
A right-left combination as Holmes opens the round. Right on the head of Council. Council certainly capable of ending it with a knockout.
Yeah, he's not out of this yet.
But Holmes going back to that beautiful right jab, sticking it. The shotgun.
Right now, Holmes really just has to box smart, not get caught, not be foolish and walk in any wild shots. He's boxing smart. He's done it the whole night. There's no time to change.
That's what a fellow named Oscar felt.
Yeah, except he didn't fight at all. There's more fighting in one round of this fight than there was in 12 of that one. De La Hoya chose not to fight.
Yeah, I disagree to some extent. I agree with the last 4 rounds. I don't want to get into a debate over that because we got a good fight here. But I thought, for the most part, that he was tactically beautiful. And here's Keith Holmes now coming forward.
Hard break. You have it.
That little cut over the left on Council, no factor.
Yeah, it really hasn't bled. It's a very small trickle and not a factor whatsoever.
Holmes is not punching with any power at all.
No, I was just going to say, no authority, a little pitter pat.
He's tired of wanging this guy and nothing's happening. On the other hand, he also is capable of changing up a little pit, and then boom. He's done that before.
He's deceptive. We approach the final minute, round 11.
A quiet round compared to the war of the last two.
Council just scored with a straight right hand, missed with the left.
He also is not punching very hard. But you can understand why he's not.
He has been punished.
He's exhausted. See that? That's time.
Once again, Holmes all over Council. And he holds on so as not to hit the canvas again. He almost pulled Holmes' trunks down.
He looks like he is very tired.
Very tired.
Very
towards Andrew Council.
Come on.
As soon as Council went to the ropes and looked tired, Holmes saw it, picked it up, and attacked the corner.
Hold it. Go.
Final seconds, though, for Andrew Council. He's trying to eat up as much time as he can by walking away.
Well, he's only got a few seconds for the round, but the fight is lost.
That's it. Council's going to have to knock Holmes out in the last round.
Big time loss.
Put some ice on his head. Give me some ice. Give me the ice bag.
I get ice bag with him.
Right here. Let me see on his arm. Hold this. Hold this. Suck it in deep, Andrew. Andrew, you got to put down, bite your feet, put your chin down. You got to work a little bit here. Come on. Come on,
We're going to show you where that point lost. Here, Arthur McCanty's trying to break the two, saying don't punch, put your hands down, don't punch, and watch what Keith Holmes does. He just slams one in there anyway.
Oh, that was silly.
It was not only silly, it was blatant, and it was unnecessary.
Listen, ineffective, unnecessary, stupid. That was just
you won't jab him back. Don't let
You'd be
him
surprised,
jab you. We did that in the gym.
Sometimes
Jab
in
each
the
other back
action,
and forth.
of course,
Last round,
just react.
you got to bite the bullet. You understand? You got to bite the bullet. Work, baby, work.
He said, bite it, man. I swallowed that bullet about two rounds ago. I swallowed that bullet.
That's a machine gun. Here we go. They'll touch gloves for the last round.
Give me a glove. Give me a glove. Let's have your glove. Let's go. Box, let's go.
Council has gone 12 rounds 4 times. Lost all 4 to Holmes, Wright, Allen, and Hopkins. Holmes has gone 12 twice. He's 1-1. TKO over Richie Woodhall. And the decision loss to Sharifi. Holmes again opening up with a jab.
I didn't see the first fight that they had that was so controversial, but there's no controversy really here.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Now Keith Holmes has this one on points. Council needs the knockout.
And as I go into this last, I have to tip my hat and admire Andrew Council. He got off flat on his face to face a hard round, and he's still here.
Come on, stop holding.
He didn't have the answer for Holmes' expert boxing, wonderful, beautiful defense, and hard offense, but he is a good fighter, Andrew Council.
You know you're in a fight with Council.
I would like to see him with Joppy. Joppy would be more down in his face, be more of a blow by blow than this is.
I think Joppy's a little better puncher than Holmes, though.
Yeah.
If he gets his chin away with some of those things too often, you can't take that amount.
But it would be a blazer while it went on. It would be a blazing fight while it happens.
Joppy Holmes is a fight that's been talked about in this particular area for many years, and perhaps it will soon become a reality if Holmes and Joppy cooperate tonight. It looks like Holmes is. We'll see what happens later.
Has a corkscrew punch. He missed and he corkscrewed himself into the canvas. Oh.
Look at that. 1-2-3 combination by Holmes, and they all landed on the head of Council.
It's like Holmes doesn't even want to take one round off. I mean, he wants them all.
But the beauty of it for Holmes is that Council's not pressing him, so when he wants to rest, he just steps back and rests. And when he doesn't want to rest, he gets the job done. That's just, Council cannot fight this type of fight. From the opening bell, we saw it coming.
Come on.
Well, what do they say? Speed kills.
Yeah.
And Holmes is all about speed, and he does have power. Merely a low blow by Council.
No punching. Break.
Final 20 seconds of the fight for the WBC middleweight title.
Keep him up.
Barring a miracle, Holmes is on his way to another defense.
Don't hit him, McKinney. Let's go.
The miracle's over.
Big smile from Keith Holmes, who embraces Andrew Council.
Nice job. Nice job.
And you hear the words of Arthur McCarthy. Nice job.
And even at that, two guys who reportedly didn't like one another, hug each other, and have some kind words for each other. And Arthur McCanty said, that's right, nice job. And that just shows you what this brings out. Sometimes the fighters brings out the best in men.
Council down to the ninth. The only knockdown. Holmes lost a point in round 10. Much credit, though, goes to Andrew Council for withstanding that punishment, hanging tough. Keith Holmes just awaits the official decision. The announcement from Jimmy Lennon Jr. Take a look at that knockdown again in round number 9. Andrew Council going down for the second time in his career.
You see, Steve, he walks into that, he walks right into it. I believe he didn't see it, and they caught him flush. It was a beautiful right hook. Keith Holmes was even moving backward just a little bit. You'll see right here, Council just walks right into it. Bang. And when you don't see them, they really do hurt. I can vouch for that.
I'm sure you can.
More looks at it. Council looking to lead with that right hand, a dangerous thing to do even with a southpaw. And he walks right into that right hook. That's the signature punch for Keith Holmes. It's his best weapon outside his jab.
It'll be the first defense of his second reign as WBC middleweight champ.
Oh, come on. I'm a vegetarian. Oh, yeah, he felt.
The talkative, likable Keith Holmes from right here in the Washington, D.C. area.
Hi, baby.
Now he's able to have some fun and break loose a little bit, show off that engaging personality. Love to see him face William Joppy, assuming Joppy wins later tonight. Well, for two guys that seemingly didn't like each other going into this fight, could have fooled me. But that's what the fight game does.
As much as it is respect.
Respect, right. And I'm sure the respect level goes up. Keith Holmes of Andrew Council for what he withstood here this evening. Council may have lost the fight, but I think in the eyes of a lot of folks, they feel that this guy's got a lot of guts. Let's go up to Jimmy Lennon Jr. right now and get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Oren Schellenberger, scores at 116 to 111. Fred Yusi scores at 116 to 110, and Tony Perez sees them out 117 to 109, all three in favor of the winner. And still the WBC middleweight champion of the world, Keith Holmes.
So a convincing unanimous decision for Keith Holmes, now 35-2, 5-1 in world championship fights. And once again, if his arch rival William Joppy cooperates later in the main event, it would be an interesting matchup, certainly here in the D.C. area, where both are from, to unify the WBC and WBA middleweight titles. Well, coming up, we get ready for tonight's main event, Joppy versus Green 3. William Joppy meets Julio Cesar Green once again in defense of his WBA middleweight crown. And there is William Joppy in the dressing room as he gets ready for his championship fight against Julio Cesar Green.
Give me the grease.
He feels this fight is not necessary. He feels, despite the fact that the judges didn't see it his way at Madison Square Garden in the first encounter, he won the fight. I thought he did too, even though he was one-handed from the 5th round on, and he certainly won the second fight over Green in dominant fashion. Let's go to Ferdy Pacheco right down the ring.
All right, a dominant performance. You mastered almost every round and almost knocked him down and out. Did you think he was going to get up from that?
I didn't think he was going to get up. I thought that the time ran out, but by the grace of the Creator, he got up and he wasn't injured. Hopefully, he's not injured. He's a great fighter.
Is that the game plan you decided you're going to stick to, and you stuck to the whole thing?
Exactly. There was a couple of rounds that I wanted. I seen him throwing wide shots, so I said, okay, I can get in the inside of that because we worked on that. And after I got him down, I said, okay, let me go back to boxing and try to open it up again.
Well, you had to have great conditioning to dance as much as you did. Man. Ali used to say, I can dance for a while, but then I got to rest.
Exactly. But Ali used the ropes. I didn't. I stayed in the center of the ring. I tied him up when I wanted to. I fought when I wanted to. I didn't let him dictate the fight.
And I think you got in many shots between his gloves. All right, let's take a look at the knockdown. I mean, all right, now you talk to me.
All right, see, I was setting him up with the jab, and he kept closing up. And I knew he was going to come with some wide shots. Uppercut dazed him. It dazed him. So the wide shots are coming. See? See? I knew it was coming.
That's kind of the same thing you hit Sharif with.
That was the Israel shot. You know, I just got back from Israel. That was the Israel shot.
The Red Sea shot.
I'd like to give love to, all praise to the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Israel, Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob. The anointed, Ben Ami of Damona, Israel. I love you. Love my fans in D.C. Thanks for coming.
All right, and on that great note, we go back to Steve Albert at ringside.
All right, thank you very much, Ferdy. Congratulations to Keith Holmes for retaining his WBC middleweight championship. Let's check the online scoring results, see how the folks saw it at home. You remember after 6 they had it 3-3, and then of course Keith Holmes winning it, going away in their minds. If you took part, we thank you for your participation. The online voting to continue with the start of our main event.